question that I get asked all the time is, Barry, when you get hired by some of the biggest names in the business, what is it that you actually do behind the scenes to make sure that their offers really work? And is it true that you actually have to take everything apart and put it back together again? And the answer is yes. Most of the time it is true that you have to take it all apart and put it back together again. The first thing I do when I'm hired by anyone, whether it's one of my LEAP students or one of my private clients, is I start with a very fundamental question that I call the big why. What is the big why behind your business? Now, why is this important in designing an offer or an event or your content flow or, quite frankly, your marketing and your messaging? Is these are all connected. And Jeff Walker, one of my clients and a good friend, he said to me one time, Barry, you have to remember, you don't just design offers. You don't just design events. You design businesses. And it really was an aha moment for me, because at that moment, I had been really marketing myself as offers and events. But the reality is, you can't really design a high-ticket offer and design a really good event without understanding the DNA of the business. And to do that, and honestly, not just the business owner. And so to do that, we always start with the big why. What is your big why for your life, for your business, and for your event, in that order? What really motivates you? What's your North Star? Like, why are you in this business? Why is this business important to you personally in your life? And then what is the big why for your business? What is the work that you're out there in this world to do? What I call the uniquely you mission and message. And then what is the big why of your event? Now, they absolutely should be related, but the answers are often somewhat different. So for example, my big why for my life might be able to live 6 months in France. My big why for my business might be to get 1,000 people to launch high ticket offers and make 6 figures so that we create $1 million business owners. And my big why for my event might be to teach you how to design your very own purpose-driven payday. They're all connected, but they're slightly different. We want to understand the nuances of that so that we can design an offer that supports the business, that supports the life. Tony Robbins, another one of my clients, would call this life by design, not by default. Business by design, not by default. And that leads to the big, really aha moment for you, which is, are you Frankensteining your business? And so often why we need to take businesses apart and put them back together again, why we need to lift up the hood and look deep into the engine to see what really makes it run, is that over time, businesses have just been cobbled together. And I call that Frankensteining. You saw something that worked over here and something that worked over here and something that worked over here. And you're like, well, if it worked for them and them and them, it'll work for me. So I'll just take the best of all those things and put it together and it'll be amazing. But actually what you often find is you've got a business you don't love and a life you don't love, because it's not by design. It's been Frankensteined by mimicking what other people do without really having the why behind it. And more importantly, not having it be attached to your big why for your life, for your business, and for your event. So Frankensteining is absolutely the enemy of designing an offer and an event and a business and a life that you love. And that leads to the next thing. We can't design every offer and every event as if nothing has changed, because the whole point of being in this space, this industry, is transformation. And we're always growing, we're always evolving. And as we do, our big why for our life and for our business and for our event will absolutely shift. And so you regularly want to check in with yourself to say, was what was true yesterday? Is it still true today? And do I want it to be true for tomorrow? Today, am I doing the things that will lead to the business that I want tomorrow? And if not, it's time to prune. And pruning is when you remove things that no longer serve you and no longer serve your right fit client. I have a really simple lens to put this through. Is it nice? Is it necessary, or is it neither? Meaning it would be nice to do or have, it's absolutely necessary to do or have, or it's actually neither. Things have evolved and changed and it's no longer, and therefore it needs to be cut away. This exercise is something I do regularly for myself, and every time we have a new leaper, we do it. And every time we get a new private client or a renewed private client, we go back to the basics. You're never too far advanced. You're never too big. You're never too evolved to take a look at your big why, to take your business apart and look at it really closely and then put it back together again to make sure you're on really firm foundations by design, not by default. If you like this content and you'd like to hear more, all you have to do is hit the follow, like, and subscribe buttons. They're somewhere around here. I'm sure you can find them. And here's one other thing. I'm going to be regularly answering your questions. That's right, your questions. You can post them right here in the comments section, and then stay tuned for a video from me to you. And a quick reminder, you can do this.